Hello and welcome back to Film Smart. In this episode we have 5 topics. It's kind of been a slow week, but it's been necessary that we've come back. I know we haven't had an episode in like 2 months, and we had some TV episodes that turned out really well. But
didn't watch them.
You win some, you lose some. Anyway, our first topic is James Wan is going to helm Aquaman with Jason Momoa, and it's part of the DC Cinematic Universe. And does it come out in 2017?
2018.
2018. So, what are your thoughts on this? Coming off of Fast or Furious 7.
Well, I might have been one of the only people that loved it. I mean, it didn't make $1.5 billion. It's about to dethrone Avengers as third highest grossing movie of all time, which is incredible. I didn't think it would make that much. I knew it would make a lot because of Paul Walker, but dang. I mean, I think that's probably why he probably went from like mid-list to top of the list, because he can make a blockbuster. And I think that, I mean, just everything, the action, the way he directed the action in Furious 7, all that stuff. I mean, if he can direct action characters, he can do all that stuff. I mean, the script wasn't the best, but he still made it something like...
He made an entertaining movie that had some heart, especially the way they dealt with Paul Walker's, not his death, but his farewell, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and he tweeted out some real cool quote about like the ocean.
Yeah,
I forget what
it was a quote from somebody else, right? It wasn't his own.
No, it wasn't his own quote. No,
but it was a very cool quote, and it was kind of in the vein of what Doctor Strange director, I'm forgetting, was it Peyton Reed? Is that his? No, that's
Scott Derrickson.
Scott Derrickson. Scott Derrickson saying, "I'm gonna have something. I'm making something strange," or something like that. It was something. James Wan was more eloquent, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about this. I have to say I'm a little hesitant, only because he directed The Conjuring, which I know a lot of people like, and I thought it was okay, but people, say it was the best horror movie in years, and it was so scary. I was like, I laughed like during maybe it's just me, but I didn't find it very scary, and that's coming from me, who I get very scared in horror movies. I'm not a horror fan, and I get nervous, but that movie did not make me very nervous for most of it, but it was okay. I think I liked it mainly because it had a happy ending. But anyway, which is unusual for horror films. And then Fast Furious 7, I know you liked it, and I liked it too. I didn't love it, so him directing that movie doesn't make me go, oh, thank God he was directing Aquaman. I go, okay. I mean, would I have liked to have seen him, like with Zack Snyder, even though he might not be the best director of all time, he's directed some good movies, like 300 and what was the other? Watchmen. I know that has some divisiveness, but to me, Zack Snyder shows a style that James Wan hasn't showed yet. I mean, and people can argue that, but Furious 7, whatever they call it, it didn't show me style, even though it was entertaining and thing. I don't think anybody would say that's a movie that showed his style. And even The Conjuring, I don't think that really showed his style. I mean, horror is his thing, but I was not blown away.
Which is interesting.
Yeah,
they would get him to direct
for
Aquaman, yeah.
Not like Justice League Dark or something.
I mean, there are rumors that he's doing the Trench storyline. The way when Variety posted the press release, they said something about Aquaman being torn between the humans polluting the waters and his own people trying to come up and invade the earth, the surface. And which the Trench, it's all these little creatures that try to come up and they start killing people and eating people, and like it's just bottom of the sea things that like we don't ever explore that part of the ocean, so we don't know about.
So they're not Atlanteans. There's something
not
else.
Really, but he would be blamed for it either way. I mean, and Atlanteans too, because they have like a whole storyline where they pretty much try to screw over the Earth. Orm and his brother Orm, they all try to fight for power. It's like a power struggle.
I just realized, like Aquaman and Black Panther, like Marvel and like Black Panther's trying to manage a country. From what it sounds like with Civil War, sounds like this for Aquaman. That's actually, I like this. This sounds really cool, and I really want to see Black Manta. And Black Manta kind of reminds me of the I'm forgetting his name, Ulysses Claw, with Black Panther's lore. So maybe we'll be seeing some similar films, one on land, one on water. But yeah, I'm excited, and I'm interested in Jason Momoa. I just finished season 1 of Game of Thrones, so he didn't.
Yeah, he was really just kind of
But sometimes he was,
he ripped at that guy's tongue.
But yeah, he was good in what he could do. Our next topic is Clint Eastwood, coming off of American Sniper. The 85-year-old will be directing the Miracle on the Hudson story. I don't think that's the name of the movie, obviously, but we got a tweet from Sully Sullenberger. And if you remember, in January of 2009, a man was flying a plane, Sully Sullenberger was flying a plane in New York, and geese flew into the engines. I remember, and when geese fly into the engines, they get destroyed. The engines get destroyed, or they can get destroyed, and they started stopping. So he had to find a way to land the plane because you're in this huge city, and remember, this is post 9/11. You're in a huge city that's, very aware of what's happened 8 years before. So he landed, and luckily everybody was fine when he landed in the Hudson River. Or was it the Hudson Bay? It was the Hudson River, Hudson Bay. I think probably the Hudson Bay. But he landed safely, got everybody off safely, and he was the real hero, American hero. And obviously Clint Eastwood's trying to get into that American hero. He did Chris Kyle, and now he's doing Sully Sullenberger. This is an exciting story, but I've heard some people say, how are you going to make a movie about a situation that lasted like a half an hour?
Well, I mean, I guess you just have to add some stuff, maybe flashbacks.
Well, that's what people were thinking. Maybe
passengers.
How his life happened, how his life was after that. Like now that nobody knew who Sully Sullenberger was before that, but now they do. Now he's, I don't want to say he's an icon, but he's fairly famous. He's probably the most famous pilot in his country.
Twitter's verified.
Yeah. So it was all because of that Miracle on the Hudson Bay. So I'm interested in this. I mean, Clint Eastwood obviously is a great director. We've seen with Unforgiven, with American Sniper, $1 Million Baby. He can direct, but I'm curious as to how they're really going to make this a whole movie. Because it wasn't a very long situation. They could go back, they could go forward in his life. The plane landing could be the beginning of the movie.
Oh, yeah, I think that would be real.
And then forward to how his life is. They could be like the first 25 minutes, and then how his life was after that. But I'm intrigued. And Clint Eastwood, while still going 85 years old, directing another. This is going to be a movie that's going to rely on special effects, obviously. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how this works. Okay, the next one is James Bond will be leaving Sony after Spectre. Sony had the rights for James Bond along with MGM, so it was kind of a split thing. MGM's going to keep the rights. MGM's had the rights for James Bond for decades, but Sony, I don't remember how long they've had the rights, probably since Pierce Brosnan era, maybe longer, I don't know. They're losing the rights after this 24th Bond film and the fourth film with Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig, I think, is still signed on for one more movie. But obviously everybody's going to be fighting to get... And Sony is still fighting to get James Bond. After their contract is up, they can still get James Bond back, but it's a bidding, basically. It's who can pay the most amount of money. So what do you think about this, Josh?
I mean, I've never really been super into James Bond. I mean, I liked Skyfall, but yeah, James Bond, I'm more into I don't know, he's just not my type of movie. I like Mission Impossible type stuff better. But I mean, it's always cool to see how businesses work, how these contracts will end, and then these things might go up for grabs. And I mean, it'll be cool to see how if another studio gets James Bond, what changes they might make to the franchise, or whether or not they'll just drop Daniel Craig.
Yeah, that's what I was...
contract and be like, bye.
But
your contract was with Sony.
I feel like, I don't know, that would bother me if they just decided to... Because ultimately, who the studio is, for one, we have to remember, MGM still has the rights to James Bond, so that's not changing.
Yeah.
But whoever, say Universal, no, let's say Paramount, who is in desperate need of a big franchise, because Universal has Fast and Furious.
Too?
Yeah, that's all they have. So they have Transformers. They're desperately wanting another, because Disney, they don't need James Bond. And Universal doesn't need James Bond, but Paramount would kill.
Yeah.
And I literally do mean they probably would kill somebody to get James Bond, because these Transformers movies, garbage. But they do make money. But anyway, I think they would fight to get the right for James Bond. But I would like them to keep Daniel Craig because, for one, I think he's a great Bond. I think he's either the best or the second best Bond. And I think it would just be a mistake to just kind of throw him out as if that. I think that'd be kind of almost an insult to just have him.
He's the Bond I know. Like ever since I've known who James Bond was, I always see Daniel Craig.
Yeah, when Pierce Brosnan was around, we were way too young to. I mean, his last movie was like 2002.
Yeah.
So the only Bond I know is James Bond. I mean, it's Daniel Craig.
Well,
no, he is James Bond. But I'd like to see him finish out his contract for fifth movie, and then maybe we could get a new James Bond. I know people like Idris Elba were being talked about. I'd like to see him. That'd be really cool. There were some others. I've even heard like Hugh Jackman. They wouldn't go for that. He's Australian.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind to see him like that. It'd be interesting. But I'm interested to see another James Bond. But I want to see Daniel Craig go out. I mean, but who knows? Maybe the Spectre would be the perfect ending to his story. But I feel like Sony would have to know his contract's going to be our contract's going to be up by the time the fourth movie. Why would they sign him on for a fifth unless they had some other plan to do another one in between or something? I don't know. I mean, I know sometimes when Marvel movies sign on, like Sebastian Stan for 9 movies, they don't know he's going to be in 9 movies. They just do it to lock him in. But who knows? I just want to see him stay. But Sony could always get him back. Let's not forget that. So we'll see. The next one is Eddie Redmayne is going to be in the next Harry Potter franchise movie, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Comes out in 2016, November, I think. And, it's another J.K. Rowling book.
Yeah. I mean...
it's...
I think I'm excited for Eddie Redmayne more than the actual movie.
Yeah, because I watched the first 6 Harry Potter movies. I didn't see part 1 and 2 of Deathly Hallows, and I know it's a sin to say almost, but I'd like to watch them eventually. I'd like to finish the series, but I was never a huge Harry Potter fan. I always found the movies to be fine. Like I didn't think they were bad or good. I thought, okay. I did like the third one a fair amount. The one that the director of Gravity made. That was a good one.
Alfonso Cuarón.
Yeah, Alfonso Cuarón. Alfonso Cuarón. I was thinking Alejandro in it.
That me too. I was gonna say. I was like, I know he has a.
But yeah, anyway, that movie was good, and I liked all the others. They were fine, whatever. But I never was into it because I guess I didn't read the books.
Yeah.
So I guess it was hard to get into that as much. But anyway. Nevertheless, this is exciting because Eddie Redmayne's a great actor, obviously. You wouldn't know that if the only movie you saw was Jupiter Ascending. But...
there's always a dark spot in a great actor's career. I don't know why they do this to themselves. I guess it's for the money, but... And
since Jupiter Ascending came out in February, he might get a Razzie nomination next year, a year right after he gets his Oscar win. But that'd be hilarious and sad all at the same time.
Yeah.
But he has another movie coming out where he's... dressing in drag.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called, but maybe he might be back in the conversation all over again for the Razzie and the Oscar. But anyway, it's good to hear that, and he's great in The Theory of Everything. Obviously, I think Michael Keaton deserved it more, but anyway, he was great in that. So we'll see how this turns out. The story, it takes place like 70 years before Harry Potter, before his beginning or whatever, and so I guess that would be like the 30s, 20s or 30s, and then it's basically the book that Harry Potter read when he was in school. Like it was called The Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. It was like his magic textbook. So, we'll see. Hopefully it'll be good. I doubt it'll be bad. I'm sure J.K. Rowling.
I was like, I don't think he made those.
J.K. Rowling is missing those $1 billion rolling up to her house. The last story is not exactly confirmed. It's not confirmed, but it looks like it might be. Is the Tilda Swinton might be playing the Ancient One in Doctor Strange. He basically in the comics is a Tibetan man, so an Asian man who trains Doctor Strange with his powers and everything. And then I think they eventually become enemies. So that could be his villain during the movie too.
Ra's al Ghul.
What'd you say?
Ra's al Ghul.
So I think this is good and bad in 2 ways. One way, we're getting a female lead for a villain. That's good to change a man to a woman. It's nice to get a little bit more diversity. On the other hand, it's not an Asian woman.
Yeah.
You know, and the other, so you're kind of winning and losing at the same time.
Yeah, you're right.
It's kind of like when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. It just, so you know, it's good. It's bad. I don't know how to feel about this. I think she's perfect for the role.
Yeah, I love Tilda Swinton.
She's so weird, and I think she
scares me.
Yeah.
Every movie I've ever seen with her in it, even if she's playing a happy character, she's scared.
I even think she even in it was some museum. She was staying in like a metal or a glass box, and people would just watch her. She would just sit there still.
She seems like that type of person.
Yeah, so she's perfect for a role like this, where she's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all that crazy stuff. But that would be cool to see.
Cool, yeah.
That would actually be awesome to see. Like, we haven't seen. I don't think have we seen this in a Marvel movie or most superhero movies in general, where a male is facing off against a female villain, an antagonist.
And a male's learning from a woman.
Yeah, I mean, I know we have like Nebula and Guardians of the Galaxy, but Ronan was the main one. So I mean,
and Nebula had like, I don't know, the choreography for their fights were middle school girl fights.
Yeah, so yeah, they could have done better. Hopefully, she'll get her due next one. But I would like to see her be like.
Yeah, Nebula and Gamora, they're assassins. They're trained. They don't just wrestle with each other.
So maybe Nebula and Ancient One will meet up. They're in the same universe.
Ooh, yeah.
But that would be cool. I'd like to see the Ancient One go crazy. I want to see if they're going to have Tilda Swinton. If she is going to be in this movie, remember it's not confirmed. If she is going to be in this movie, I want to see her like changed almost, like unrecognizable. But Tilda Swinton already has kind of like a striking look.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting to see this again. It's too bad it couldn't be an Asian actress. In the defense, if this is the case, there aren't that many Asian actresses, but we don't allow that to happen because we don't cast that many. So I don't, we always talk about how there needs to be more women and black actors, but a hugely unrepresented race is Asian. I mean, we just totally forget. I mean, at least there's some black superheroes and there aren't that many Hispanic.
You're right, Asian. I remember.
But Asian is.
I think I looked up Asian DC characters, and they're like 4.
Yeah, and not even just.
And they were just alternate dimension versions.
Not even just superheroes, but just in general, there aren't that many.
Yeah.
I mean, we have that show like Fresh Off the Boat. Like that's like the first TV show I can think of with an all Asian cast.
Oh, yeah.
That at all. I think there was one maybe before we were born. And even that is talking about them being Asian. Like it's called Fresh Off the Boat. So which it's fine, but it would be nice to see just Asian people in movies and TV shows without it being, oh look, they're Asian,
Mm-hmm.
So it's too bad that they couldn't get an Asian person if this is true. Maybe we have no idea. It could end up being a white guy for all we know. But hopefully it's either going to be an Asian man or Tilda Swinton. So I think it's interesting, and it would be cool to see talent brought into this. And I think she's probably somebody who's going to stay in the franchise, but they might bring in Dormammu and all this other crazy stuff into different dimensions. But I'm definitely looking more forward to that movie than I was a year ago. So, because Benedict Cumberbatch, I want to watch him films.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's about it. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment. We're going to try to get more regular now that it's summertime. More free time. But like, subscribe, comment, and as always, stay film smart.